Step back into 1967, a year when life in Great Britain felt slower, simpler, and deeply rooted in routine and community. In this nostalgic journey, we explore 10 everyday things that shaped British life in 1967, from the flicker of black and white televisions and the clink of milk bottles on the doorstep to strict school uniforms and evenings spent gathered around a coal fire. This video looks at the ordinary moments that defined the era: children playing outside until dark, families planning their week around rigid TV schedules, pocket money saved for precious vinyl singles, and the familiar comfort of corner shops that knew everyone by name. These were the sights, sounds, and habits that millions of Britons took for granted. They tell a powerful story about how life once was. Whether you grew up in the 1960s or are discovering this period for the first time, this video offers a heartfelt glimpse into a Britain that now feels a world away. Sit back, relax, and relive the everyday details that made 1967 unforgettable. Video intro music starts ***1. Huddling around the black and white TV ***. In 1967, the television was the undisputed king of the living room. But for most families, it was a world rendered in shades of grey. While color television had technically arrived on BBC Two, the sets were incredibly expensive, making them a rare luxury few could afford. For the vast majority, entertainment flickered to life on a bulky black and white box. Families would gather together, often in a dimly lit room, to enhance the picture, their evenings dictated by the fixed program schedules. There was no on-demand, no catch-up, and no recording. If you missed your favorite show, you missed it for good. This shared experience created a unique national conversation, with everyone discussing the previous night's television at school or work the next day. ***2. The morning ritual of milk delivery. ***. Long before the hum of supermarket refrigerators became a constant in our lives, the day began with a much quieter, more distinctive sound: the clinking of glass bottles. Every morning, like clockwork, the milkman would make his rounds, leaving fresh milk on the doorstep. These sturdy glass bottles, sealed with a simple foil top, were a symbol of daily routine and trust. Different colored foil indicated the type of milk: silver for standard, gold for rich Channel Island milk. It was a common sight to see birds, particularly blue tits, pecking through the foil to get a cheeky sip of the cream at the top. This daily delivery was an essential service, a reliable part of a rhythm that has all but vanished from modern life. ***3. Staying warm with coal and gas fires. ***. Central heating was far from standard in the Britain of 1967. Keeping a home warm, especially during the biting winter months, was a constant effort. Most households relied on a coal fire in the main living room, a hearth that became the heart of the home. The ritual of lighting the fire, banking it up with coal, and clearing out the ashes was a daily chore. In other rooms, warmth came from paraffin heaters or freestanding gas fires, many of which glowed with a comforting but sometimes precarious intensity. Bedrooms were often freezing, with ice forming on the inside of the windows. A hot water bottle was not a luxury, but an absolute necessity for surviving a cold night. ***4. The freedom of playing out until dark. ***. For children in 1967, the world outside their front door was a playground without boundaries. With far fewer cars on the roads, streets were transformed into impromptu football pitches, cricket grounds, and arenas for games of tag and hide-and-seek. Children would leave the house after school and disappear for hours, playing unsupervised with friends from the neighborhood. Their only curfew was the setting sun, or the sound of a parent's voice calling their name from a doorway. A distinctive whistle echoing down the street. This freedom fostered independence, resilience, and a deep-seated sense of community among the neighborhood kids. An experience starkly different from the structured, supervised play of today. ***5. The uniformity of school days. ***. School life in 1967 was defined by discipline and uniformity. Almost every child wore a strict school uniform, a non-negotiable part of their daily attire. For boys, this often meant a blazer, a cap, a tie, short trousers until a certain age, and sturdy, sensible shoes. Girls wore pleated skirts or pinafore dresses, blouses, and often a beret or felt hat. There was little room for personal expression. These uniforms were intended to instill a sense of pride and order, but for many, they were just another rule in a world governed by them. Inside the classroom, discipline was equally rigid, with the cane still a common tool for maintaining order. ***6. The soundtrack of the 60s. Pop music on vinyl. ***. While life was routine, The air was buzzing with the sounds of a cultural revolution. Pop music was everything, and bands like the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, the Kinks, and the Who provided the soundtrack to a generation. This music filled homes not through streaming services, but via the crackle of a radio or the needle dropping onto a spinning record. For teenagers, the height of musical ownership was the 7-inch vinyl single. Pocket money, painstakingly saved week by week, would be spent at the local record shop on the latest chart topper. Albums were an expensive indulgence. The single was an affordable, tangible piece of pop magic that could be played over and over again on a dancette record player in a shared bedroom. ******* 7. Getting around without a car, *****. In 1967, car ownership was still a significant aspiration, rather than a given. Many families did not own a car and relied entirely on public transport to get around. Buses were the workhorses of the nation, connecting towns, villages, and city suburbs. For shorter journeys, the bicycle was a popular and practical choice for both adults and children. This reliance on public transport and pedal power meant that people's lives were lived on a more local scale. It also contributed to the sense of community, as neighbors would often see each other at the bus stop or while walking to the shops. The roads were quieter, safer, and belonged as much to pedestrians and cyclists as they did to vehicles. ***8. A nation of smokers, ***. Looking back from a modern perspective, one of the most striking aspects of 1967 life was the prevalence of smoking. It was an almost universally accepted social habit, woven into the fabric of everyday existence. People smoked in their homes, in pubs, in restaurants, on buses, and even in many workplaces. Ashtrays were standard fixtures in nearly every room. The health risks were not as widely understood or publicized as they are today, and offering someone a cigarette was a common gesture of hospitality. A haze of smoke was simply part of the atmosphere of public and private life, a detail that now seems utterly alien. ***9. The central role of the corner shop, ***. Before the rise of giant supermarkets, shopping was a local, personal affair. The corner shop was the nucleus of every neighborhood, a treasure trove of everyday essentials. These small, family-run businesses were more than just a place to buy bread, milk, and newspapers. They were community hubs. The shopkeeper knew everyone by name, kept up with local gossip, and often extended credit to families struggling to make ends meet before payday. Customers would hand over a handwritten list, and the shopkeeper would gather the items from the shelves behind the counter. This system, known as putting it on the slate, was built on a foundation of trust and personal relationships that large, impersonal stores could never replicate. ***10. The weekly pay packet and Saturday night rituals, ***, for most working-class families. The financial rhythm of the week culminated in the arrival of the pay packet. Wages were typically paid in cash every Friday in a small brown envelope. This tangible reward for a week's hard work was then carefully budgeted to cover rent, bills, and food for the following week. The end of the week also brought with it comforting rituals. Saturday evening was often a special time for the family. It frequently began with a weekly bath, with family members taking turns in the same water to save on heating. Freshly scrubbed and in their pajamas, the family would then gather for an evening of primetime television, a shared experience that marked a gentle and fitting end to the working week. Do you remember life in Britain during the 1960s? Share your memories in the comments. If this brought back memories, please like the video and subscribe for more British nostalgia. Chapters included home life and entertainment, childhood and daily routines, music and youth culture, transport and community, work, shopping and traditions.